Welcome, you've tuned in for a new deep dive, and wow, the material you've sent this time is really something.
It really is a fascinating mix.
We're going to be looking into karma, fate, and whether we can actually influence them.
Yeah, there's any wiggle room.
Exactly. We've got stuff from YouTube channels like Individuation Portal and Beyond the Veil, Wikipedia pages on the devil, philosophy articles on free will.
Research ethics from Carnegie Mellon, a Reddit thread on myths, even Jungian takes on guilt.
Right, and Buddhist views on karma, too. So the mission today is kind of figuring out how these threads weave together.
Like, is karma this unbreakable law? Can you actually, trick the devil or dodge fate?
And where does free will fit into all of this? It raises some pretty big questions.
It definitely does. You look at all this material and wonder, is fate seen as fixed everywhere?
Or do these ideas about pacts and deals suggest ways around it?
Exactly. How do those fit into cause and effect?
Okay, so let's dive in with karma. That seems central.
Makes sense.
Individuation Portal mentioned the basic Sanskrit root, right? Action or doing.
Yeah, but it's grown into so much more, hasn't it? Especially in popular Indian thought.
It's not just doing something, it carries this, moral weight.
Absolutely. It's seen as this built-in moral law.
Yeah.
Good actions, bad action. They create consequences.
It's consequences you have to sort of work through.
Right, inheritable results, almost like a debt you need to clear to escape the cycle of rebirth, samsara.
And that's where nishkama karma comes in.
Acting without attachment to the outcome, renouncing the fruits of your actions.
So you don't generate more karma.
Precisely. You stop adding to the cycle.
Interesting, too, how they mention that starting a path of liberation can actually bring up old karma.
Yeah, like challenges, surface illness, loss, that kind of thing.
Like a test, almost. Makes you wonder about those unexpected rough patches.
Definitely. Are they just random, or are they echoes of past actions working themselves out?
The Beyond the Veil channel had a slightly different take, didn't they?
Yeah, more like an invisible thread, woven by actions, words, thoughts.
Creating patterns that shape now and the future.
Right. They called it the boomerang of life.
I like that. What you put out comes back.
And they stressed it's not just reward and punishment, but more about balance.
Growth, interconnection.
Exactly. Like ripples in an ocean. Everything affects everything else.
Which ties into that idea of a cosmic record, right? The Akashic record.
Yeah, storing imprints of everything. Every thought, word, action. A huge database.
Wow. And they also brought up generational karma.
The idea that ancestors' unresolved stuff, their energy, can influence descendants.
Yeah, like through genetics.
That was the suggestion, yeah. Traces left behind.
But does make you think about family patterns, doesn't it?
Sure. Why some things seem to repeat.
Then the Better Cambodia article gave us the Buddhist perspective.
Right. Karma as the law of moral causation.
Where intentional actions are key.
Yes, intention matters huge. Actions of mind, speech, body, they produce results.
Now or later, shaping our circumstances.
But crucially in Buddhism, it's not deterministic fate.
Oh, right. There's still room to move.
Definitely. Mindful, ethical living now can create positive karma. It improves future conditions.
So it emphasizes personal responsibility and our current choices.
Very much so. You're not just locked into past actions.
Okay, so if karma is this web of cause and effect, but maybe not totally rigid, can we, like Alan Watts suggested, trick the devil or sidestep fate?
That was a fascinating analogy from Individuation Portal.
Comparing it to keeping your plans for change secret from the devil in Christian thought?
Yeah, the strategy there seems to be about managing overwhelm.
How so?
Instead of thinking, I have to quit this forever, which feels huge.
You just focus on today.
Exactly. Just for today, I won't do it. It stops the devil, the negative pattern, from using the daunting future against you.
Sneaking past the negativity by staying present. I like that.
And he connected it to Zen concepts, too.
Like acting without premeditation.
Yeah, like in Zen archery, or that von Kleist story about the bear.
The bear couldn't predict the attack if there was no conscious plan beforehand.
Right. Acting spontaneously bypasses the predictable patterns.
Which kind of echoes some of those myths from the Reddit thread about defying fate.
It does, doesn't it? Breaking free from ingrained patterns. What myths stood out there?
Well, Athena's birth was interesting. Zeus swallows Metis to avoid the prophecy.
That their child would overthrow him.
But then Athena just emerges from his head, fully formed, bypassing the whole thing.
Seemingly breaking the prophecy, yeah. Though I like that Reddit comment suggesting she did overthrow him metaphorically, as goddess of war.
Yeah, that's a clever take. Stories evolved.
Always. What else was there?
Lugh Law-Gifts from Welsh mythology. He turned into an eagle.
Right. Transformed and was reborn to avoid his fate. Transformation as an escape route.
And Achilles, getting so enraged, he started messing with destiny itself.
Until the gods stepped in. It shows defying fate is a powerful, maybe dangerous idea, even in myth.
It highlights that tension, doesn't it? Between destiny and our desire for control.
Which brings us neatly to the whole deal with the devil light.
The Faustian bargain. Wikipedia laid out the basics.
Rooted in Christian tradition, trading your soul for, well, worldly stuff.
Youth, knowledge, money, power.
Whatever the heart desires, apparently. Though sometimes it was just about acknowledging the devil as master.
It's always portrayed as super risky, though. The price is your soul.
Yeah, the stakes are ultimate, and usually the ending is not good.
Eternal damnation, typically.
Though sometimes there's that twist where the human outsmarts the devil on a technicality.
A bit of wishful thinking, perhaps, getting away with it.
Maybe. It taps into that fantasy of getting ahead no matter the cost.
The Wikipedia page listed loads of examples.
Oh, yeah. From old legends like Devil's Bridges and figures like Pope Sylvester II.
To musicians like Tartuni, Paganini, Robert Johnson at the Crossroads.
Even more recent figures, fictional stuff like The Devil Went Down to Georgia. It's everywhere.
What struck me was the metaphorical use, too.
How so?
Like using deal with the devil to condemn cooperating with something truly evil. The Nazi-Jewish negotiations example was chilling.
It really highlights the extreme moral weight such choices can carry. Short-term survival versus unimaginable compromise.
It makes you think, are we sometimes making smaller deals without realizing the full price?
That's a really potent question. Pursuing a goal, maybe breaking a cycle, but not seeing the hidden consequences.
Yeah. And all this really feeds into that core philosophical debate. Free will versus determinism.
The Orion philosophy piece laid it out well. Do we have total control, or are things basically predetermined?
Genes, environment, all locking us in.
That's the determinist view. Hard determinism says free will is basically an illusion.
Because every choice is just the result of what came before. Causal inevitability.
Exactly. They mention logical determinism, predictable systems, and theological determinism, like a divine plan.
It's kind of mind-bending to think even choosing toast over cereal could be predetermined.
It really is. Then you've got soft determinism or compatibilism.
Trying to make them both fit together. Free will and determinism.
Yeah, arguing they can coexist. Some even say determinism is needed for us to choose based on preference.
But that line gets blurry, doesn't it? Where does one end and the other begin?
It can, yeah. Though I like the idea that free will might grow with wisdom.
How does that work?
The more you understand the influences on your conditioning, your environment.
The better you can choose consciously how to respond, lessening external control.
Kind of, yeah. But of course, the hard determinist would just say
that gaining wisdom was predetermined too.
Exactly. It's a loop.
And the ethical implications are massive if it's all predetermined.
How do we assign responsibility? Praise, blame, morality itself gets shaky.
Right. Which, strangely enough, connects to that Carnegie Mellon article on research ethics.
Informed consent waivers, yeah. Seems unrelated at first.
But it touches on trying to find maybe loopholes or making a kind of deal to get an outcome.
How so? Explain the research part again.
Okay, so research needs informed consent. Right. But there are different trial designs. Some randomize individuals, some randomize groups like clinics or schools.
Right. Cluster randomized trial.
And the worry is it might seem easier to get a waiver permission to not get individual consent in those group trials.
Ah, I see. So researchers might choose that design just to avoid the hassle of consent.
That's the ethical concern. Even if the intervention still affects individuals within the group, it's like finding a procedural way around a core ethical principle.
A potential loophole, as they put it, making a specific choice, the research design that circumvents the usual process.
Possibly at the expense of participant autonomy.
And the justifications used, like it's becoming standard care anyway or consent would bias the results.
Those need really careful scrutiny or they become...
It's a good reminder that aiming for efficiency or a desired outcome still requires careful ethical thought. You can't just find a clever workaround.
Definitely. Okay, shifting slightly, let's talk guilt and remorse. This Jungian life piece was insightful.
Yeah, framing guilt as subjective, tied to our personal moral standards.
Shaped by beliefs, experiences, all that internal stuff.
And it can be destructive, just leading to anxiety and regret.
Or reparative.
Yeah.
Guiding us to do better.
Right, that bivalent nature. And they touched on different views. Freud's superego, sin, unskillful action in Buddhism.
I thought the distinction they made was really useful between guilt, shame, and remorse.
Can you recap that?
Guilt is I did something bad. Shame is I am bad.
Oh, okay. Deeper and more about identity.
And remorse is more about empathy, feeling regret for the actual harm caused to others.
Which seems like the driver for atonement then.
Exactly. Atonement as the process of repair, restoring balance.
Making amends, apologies, actively fixing the harm.
It feels like a way of dealing with the consequences, whether that's karma or just life, trying to break a negative cycle.
Yeah, actively addressing the fallout of our choices instead of just letting it perpetuate.
So finally, let's loop back to transcending karma. Beyond the Veil had some practical steps.
It did. And the key was, it's not about running away from karma,
but transforming how you live and respond.
Precisely. The first step was forgiveness.
Of others and yourself. To cut those negative ties.
Releasing anger, resentment for your own freedom, not to excuse the behavior.
Then living without attachment.
Yeah, letting go of needing specific outcomes. Focus on the intention and effort now.
And the third was anchoring in the present. Mindfulness.
Right. Breaking patterns of regret about the past or anxiety about the future. Just be here.
But they went deeper too, didn't they? Beyond just practical steps.
They did. Concepts like the law of grace.
A force beyond cause and effect. Allowing a break from the cycle.
Through self-compassion, forgiveness.
Yeah.
And spontaneity.
Like the Zen idea again. Acting without clinging to outcomes.
Aligning intention and action seamlessly. And finally, becoming the observer.
Detaching from the drama. Seeing yourself as the witness, not just the actor caught up in it.
Exactly. It suggests a real shift in consciousness is needed for true liberation. Not just managing action, but changing perception.
Wow. And just to round it off, that Wikipedia page on the devil in arts and culture.
A reminder of how persistent that figure is.
As a symbol of temptation, evil, the consequences of those deals.
Horns, tails, or just looking ordinary to deceive. The archetype is powerful.
It really ties together how we culturally represent these forces we grapple with.
Definitely underscores our ongoing fascination with choices and consequences, especially the darker side.
Well, that was quite a journey through karma, fate, free will, and making deals with metaphorical devils.
A lot to unpack.
It seems clear that karma, however you define it, really points to the impact of our actions and intentions. That comes through strongly.
And that desire to know if we can change things, influence our path. It's ancient and ongoing in philosophy, religion, mythology.
Yeah, and that deal with the devil symbol is just so potent, isn't it? Warning about choices with big, often hidden costs.
And the whole free will versus determinism puzzle. It really shapes how we think about our own agency and responsibility.
For sure. Plus the ethical angle, being wary of apparent shortcuts or loopholes when we want something.
Right. But then you have these paths towards transformation, forgiveness, detachment, mindfulness.
And maybe even grace or spontaneity, suggesting ways to navigate it all.
So the final thought, perhaps, for you listening.
Yeah.
How do you see the balance between your own choices and the forces shaping your life?
Are there maybe deals you're making without fully realizing it?
And how might these ideas about karma, intention, conscious action, how might they inform your choices from here?
Yeah, it's worth reflecting on which of these concepts really hit home for you and why.